What is going on, all my H-Town sports fans, all my Texans fans? Guess what? It's week one. Texans football has returned to H-Town. This is the Texans Mixed It Podcast. Don't touch that dial. You are now tuned in to the Texans Mixed It Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Corey Mixed It. You can definitely find me these days on TikTok. If you're scrolling around through X, you can find me on there, man. I always drop by. We talk H-Town sports all day, every day. And I am joined with the man with the master plan, my boy T. Rasco, producer extraordinaire. How are you feeling today, my brother, with this Texans football coming back today?
Feeling good, man. Excited for this year. Excited for, the potential that the Texans have this year, and can't wait for them to get out there on the field and get the season started, man.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Now, let me take you into something real quick. So we got Texans are actually underdogs at LA. Now, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised. And here's why. They've been underdogs all the way up until we got the news about Stafford. Stafford got a bad back. We didn't even know he was going to play, and they still had Texans as underdogs. Now, obviously, Vegas knows stuff that I don't know. But how do you feel about going into week one with all the star-studded defense that we have, first of all? Now, I understand we do have some questions with the O-line and all this. We'll get to that in a second. But with the star-studded defense, I understand Puka Nacua, and now they got Vontae. They doing their thing. How do you feel about going into this week one with the Texans being underdogs in LA?
I mean, I'm confident in Texas being able to go into LA and pull out a W. I think Vegas and everyone who's invested in these betting odds probably betted the Texans to be underdogs just simply because they are on the road. The Rams do have a front four that is pretty nice, and the fact that our offensive line is still trying to figure it out. At least we don't know if they figured it out or not, unless you've been in practices or sitting in camp
Sure.
all preseason. So because of that, I'm sure that's what played a part into them being considered an underdog into this game. But how I feel about it, I feel like the Texans should be going into it with confidence, just because they probably have the best defense in the NFL, especially on paper. We see, who they have in the secondary, all pros and Stingley and stuff like that. Kamari Lassiter should be having recognition of being a Pro Bowler, if not an All Pro this year himself. And then what you see on the front lines, especially coming off the edge with Anderson and with Hunter. So, they should be going in there with an immense amount of confidence themselves. CJ Stroud going into year 3, having a lot more reins and control of the offense, especially from the line of scrimmage, should help his confidence and also be able to allow them to be a lot flexible when it comes to being able to making those changes whenever they see schemes and stuff on the defensive end. So, yeah, I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for the game, and I strongly feel like they're gonna come out with a victory come that Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. And I think the big thing actually this year, and you kind of hit it on it a little bit, was Stroud having more control over the offense. It is very amazing to me how him and Bobby Slowick was just not on the same page when it comes to like, hey man, the play calling, then you get these reports and stories that come out later on, like, oh well, CJ Stroud didn't have, the reins to the offense, or the know-how, well, at least the info, the know-how to be able to change a play on his own. And it's like, I don't even understand how they got there, considering the fact, how they kind of meshed together his first year. So that kind of was a mystery to me in itself. But as far as the Texans in LA, I feel really good about the Texans on the road, especially with the defense. I think the defense will show up and they're going to be ready to play. Now, we do already have the injury bug already been hit us already out the gate. I've been going through it this whole year already with the Astros. I've been looking forward to the Texans, jumping the season off. And they already kind of got, some stuff happening with, the CJ, Gardner Johnson. And now we got Kurt and Berrios ruled out for this game. So as far as the offense is concerned, with those two guys being out, because Kirk is a vet, and I ain't gonna lie, when he is healthy, he is on top of his game. He is a top receiver, but he can't stay away from the injury bug. So I'm looking for Higgins and Noel to make that jump to say, hey, well, we got a man down. And I think Noel can actually do it, to replace some of that production, from Kirk. What do you want to see as far as from the receiving core outside of Nico? I feel like Nico gonna do his thing. Outside of Nico, what do you want to see from the young guns that we got in the draft?
Just for Higgins and Noel to make their presence felt. I'm not
Okay.
having too many high expectations on them in game one, just because I already know that they're probably going to be overexcited themselves. I mean, it's their first game, first
Sure.
regular season game as a pro, and so I know they're going to be excited to get out there and show what they could do. But at the same time, I know over the course of a season, the coaches got to have trust in them and their abilities as well. So it's not like they're going to throw a lot on them at the beginning. Higgins on the other side, probably more so than Noel, just because he was a second round pick in the first one, by the way, to ever get a guaranteed contract too. So I don't think you just throw guaranteed contracts at people who you're waiting on to show up and produce. So I'm sure he's going to come out the gate and have something to show come the game against the Rams. But I think when on the offensive side, Christian Kirk, you're gonna definitely miss out on him. You hate to see him and Barrios to be out the first game, and you like to see everybody there so you have all your dogs with you. But at the end of the day, I really want to see more balance. I think the thing that concerns me more than them two being out is the fact that Mixon's gone. He's not gonna be there for the first 4 games of the season. But that not having him there and wondering what Nick Chubb is going to be able to do coming off an injury himself. Then you got the rookies and Woody, and just where are we going to be from a balance standpoint on the offensive side? Like, are we going to be able to provide that so that we can get into the play action, type of schemes and situations, or is it where they're going to be able to stuff the box, put 7, put 8 in the box, bring pressure, allow CJ to see a lot of looks and everything because we're having to play one side or play one dimensional. So I think that's what I'm interested in seeing when it comes to the offense. It sucks that we can't have all our dogs with us with Kirk and with Barrios, but it should be enough there for us to still get a W at the end of the day.
I hear you. Now, what us being on the offense, as we talking about the offense, you already hit it. Nick Chubb will be leading the charge today. Now, here's the thing that I've been wanting to ask H-Town fans yourself, since we own the Texans Mixed It pod. Do you feel Chubb should get like a big bulk of carries, or do you feel like they should kind of like spread it out a little bit? Like, I feel like they're going to have Chubb. I think we see Dare a little bit. I'm very excited to see what Woody Marks is going to do. I mean, with 1,000-yard rusher from college, I think he is up for the challenge. He like, man, this is really between him and the receiving core when it comes to Noel and Higgins. This is actually a game that's built for y'all to shine. Now, I'm not saying you got to go out there and just be a world beater against the Rams. Like you said, it is your first game, first and second, your first game really. And you don't want to, I'm not trying to put tremendous pressure on them or what have you. But as far as Chubb is concerned, do you want to see them kind of spread his production out throughout the day instead of like, because Mixon, man, last year, bro, he was what, 25 carry, man. We ain't have nobody else back there. Damian Pierce couldn't get on the field for whatever reason. I don't know why. But 25 carries for Chubb, even though I know what Chubb used to be, with them injuries, man, them injuries plague. They just plague you. So do you want to see his production kind of spread it out over the course of the game? Or are you saying, hey, go for the workload and give him 25 carries off the rip?
Nah, I think it needs to be a running back by committee type of situation. Have Pierce
I
out
feel it.
there toting it when it makes the most sense. Have Woody Marks out there, especially in some play or passing situations. So definitely running back by committee type of situation as opposed to just putting all the pressure on Nick Chubb to fill that void that Mixon has left while he's out on injury. And then also putting a little bit more responsibility on CJ Stroud himself. Not looking for him to be a runner or nothing like that. We're not looking for him to be the next Mike Vick or or
Yeah,
Lamar
don't do that.
Jackson.
Don't do that
Yeah,
shit.
but putting it in his hands more to make adjustments when he see thing out there on the field. Like I can't stress that enough. I'm excited to see that this year. You know, it used to pain me to watch them in the second half just stick to the same
Oh
play
yeah.
calling,
Yeah.
game plan over and over and over again when you know you need to make adjustments. So I'm interested to see where is CJ Stroud at from a cerebral standpoint, and then from like you know with the question that you asked from a running back by committee. Let's not put it all on Nick Chubb, especially not
I feel
you
it.
know, game one, just simply because he's coming back from injury himself. He needs to get back to being his old self himself. I don't expect him to look like his old self right out the gate, especially having that catastrophic knee injury that he had the last time he was out there on the field. So yeah, running back by committee for sure. And then let's see what CJ got up his sleeve when it comes to making adjustments when necessary.
Okay. Now, since we are talking about running backs or just the run game in general, you already know where I'm going with this, man, because we have already been through it for the last couple of years. Hell, if you want to date it all the way back to David Carr, you can swing it all the way back to him too. The O line. It seems like it seems as if the Texans, that is just a plagued overall position that sometimes, man, it just seems we just can't get right at that position. We've had our woes there, and Rams do have some stoppers on their D. I will give them that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the O line holds up in this game. Now, since we own the O line, the one guy that I did want to talk about is Ursay. Ursary, I'm sorry, not Ursay. Ursary. He has been getting raved about all throughout camp. And I ain't gonna lie, I did see some good stuff from him in the practices. I actually got a chance to go out to the practice. That was a good joy. Shout out to my boy Marcus Soto for that. And I got a chance to see some good stuff from Ariante. And the way that Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. has taken him under his wing, like I feel like he is going to make a big impact. Like you're going to get some of the best guys in the NFL at practice. And I've seen him do his thing, like I said, in the preseason. Do you think because I know it's going to be a little bit of pressure because it will be all eyes on him when it comes to the tackle position. Do you think he shows up and shows out in LA with the
I
O
hope
line?
so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope
it's
so.
gonna be a
I
bad
absolutely
day
hope
for.
so. Yeah. I'm not looking for him to come right in there and be Laramie Tunsil right out the gate, like an all pro. But at the same time, keep CJ from having a dirty jersey as much as you possibly can. So
Yes.
not necessarily saying all the pressure is on him. I think the pressure is more so on the offensive coordinator. This being his first game, also with the Texans, and people bragging about how the scheme was more so the problem and the issue last year, as opposed to the individual players and the talent that we had. So if that is the case, that's what I'm interested to see more so, or looking forward to see. Not so much, what do they look like individually, but what do they look like collectively as a whole. And is this something that we should have confidence in moving forward?
Yeah, and then the one thing I do like this year when it comes to Kaylee is I like to see people back in their natural position. And I see Howard, Titus has moved back to his natural position. And that's the one thing I didn't like last year. Instead of trying to clean some things up on the O line, you got a person that normally plays right. Oh, yeah, man, I need to put you over here at left because, we got this injury going and this and that. And so I just think a lot of guys last year was just playing completely out of position. And I think, out of position, the actual not particularly being out of position, the communication, that's the word I'm looking for, the communication, and then also not playing your natural position. I think that kind of weighed a little bit on them. Now, Puka Nakua, the guy can flat out play, man. I'll give him that. I'm actually going up against a guy in fantasy who has Puka Nakua. What do you think? What does a D'Amico Ryan's defense look like to stop Puka Nakua? Do you just come off the rip and say, "Hey, Stingley, that's your guy," or do you put Stingley Jr. on Devontae Adams today and shadow him?
I think you should show them a little bit of everything. I don't think you necessarily have assignments where Lassiter's sitting on Adams and you got Stingley sitting on the cool all day. I'm quite sure they're going to play man just because we have two of the best corners in the league. But at the same time, I think allowing or showing them different things. So you
Okay.
just get Matthew Stafford to just take a second or half a second longer, so that you can let your edge rushers get there in time. I think that is what we should be looking forward to, or what they should be doing in this game moving forward. I know that's what they're going to be doing. I mean, we're talking about professionals here. I'm a guy that's just sitting at the house watching the game, but nevertheless, I know I'm sure that's what they're looking to do coming into that game against the Rams. Anyways, it's not so much have assignments or we're looking to shut down on a man-to-man all day and take advantage of the fact that we have these top tier corners. But more so showing different things that Matthew Stafford, who is an elite quarterback himself in his own right, trying to confuse him and slow him down so that we can get to him, especially with the fact of him having that back issue. You don't want him moving around as much back there in that backfield anyways. And so if we can just, show different things, show different pressures to have him second guessing himself and his ability, then I think it'll just make life easier for the corners. And, Nakul as well as Adams won't have a breakout game or a big time game against the Texans.
You know what? And on that note, D'Amico, if this show finds you anywhere on your timeline, maybe you're just scrolling while you're chilling tomorrow, send the house at Stafford, man. Send the house. I want the first 3 plays. I want the whole house sent. The kitchen sink sent that Stafford. Because I feel like, I'm not saying to go inflict pain or nothing like that, but let's just be honest. Tomorrow, somebody's getting some shots. Somebody, whether you getting injected in your back or whatever they do for the NFL to get you ready to play, especially when you're playing through an injury, I think he's going to have some extra padding. You know how you see it, the extra chest plays and stuff like that to kind of protect them. Man, I say send the house at him. Send the house at him, like just to send a statement, like, because in the past, when we've had to play teams like this and quarterbacks like this, where they've been on the injury or somebody just came back off of ACL or something, man, they light us up. I don't know why. I think it's like a Houston jinx. It's a Houston jinx. It's with Texans. It's damn sure with the Rockets. And I've seen a lot of it with the Astros over the years. So I say send the kitchen sink at him the first couple of plays to see how he handles the blitz, or how he picks it up. But before we get out of here, I actually got one thing that I did want to ask you. So I'm gonna take myself into the mind of Miko real quick. How would you feel if I showed on defense, right? If I lined up Stingley Jr., hey, wherever Adams go, I want you with him. I want you with him wherever he goes on the field. And for Nakua, we do like this bubble type of situation. Like, maybe get somebody to press him up, man underneath, help over the top. How would you feel about that?
I mean, the Texans defense got so much talent. I think you could come at them any kind of way you want to, and you probably would come at an advantage.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
Yeah,
if
they
you
got
want to
they
play
got the
man,
personnel. They got the
yeah,
personnel.
for sure. If they want to play man, if they want to play what is that 42? They could do that all day. Just because, like I say, they got so many weapons. And I think also another place that gets a lot of underrated, or it doesn't get talked about, a position that doesn't get talked about, is our linebacker core. With Henry To'oTo'o and with Christian Harris coming back and actually being healthy this year. Last year he wasn't healthy for the majority of the season. Him being able to have a better start to the season than he did last year would be big for the Texans defense. And then you got that that dog right there, middle linebacker. So I think they could throw anything they wanted to at the Rams, and they should be successful. As long as we can get that front four to get there, Anderson and Hunter making it hard for them. What I'm interested in seeing is them, how quickly, how often are they going to be able to get to Matthew Stafford?
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford wasn't athletic before the back was hurting. So with him having back pains and having to have shots or whatever that he's going to have to need in order to play this game, anyways, I'm hoping that the defense is looking to bring pressure not just early in the game, but throughout the game. At the end of the day, what I'm looking for is for Stafford to be contemplating if he even wants to come through and do this the whole season. Like, this
Oh
is
yeah, be
game
like,
one.
listen, man, I
Yeah,
ain't
you
out
go
here with
game
these
one and
young
you got
guys.
sacked 6 times, you got knocked down another 12, man, against the Texans defense, and that's just game one, and you already got back problems. Shit, I don't know how you get through another 16 of those. So,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
will say this, Texans. You know, at the end of the day, he still is a vet. I wouldn't take him for granted because he is injury. He has the injury nagging him.
Not only is he
It's
a
gonna be
vet, bro, he's a Super Bowl champion too. So this
oh,
isn't some middle of the road type guy that they're playing
that's
against,
true.
in the Rams. And not only that, just him, just the organization itself. They've proven they've already got one.
Yeah.
They gotten something that we're still trying to get as a city, which is a championship.
Don't
Super
bring that
Bowl.
up right now, man. Don't bring that up. Don't do us like that
Yeah.
on the camera. But I mean, as far as the favorites, and like I said, the big thing, they the damn favorites. In the game, and it is going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day for the Kamari Lassiters, the Stingleys, the Jalen Petries, the Kalen Bullocks, and it's going to be a long day for these guys because you're going to have to, be where, because like, man, I don't know, Puka Nacua gives me those early Ocho Cinco vibes, man. I don't know how closely you look at his feet work, but man, he just knows how to get open. And I've watched games with him, and I'm like, oh well, man, how did he? How was he even wide open in the first place? And then when you go back and look at the replay, you like, well, damn, like this dude wasn't even close, and like this is a professional, DB that's on him. So I like his game, but I'm just gonna need him to be. I'm gonna need him to be sorry tomorrow for the text. I was trying to put it softly to him, but
Yeah.
guys, this has been a great show. Before we get out of here, T. Rasco, score prediction. What do you have the score being tomorrow? Hit me with it.
Definitely got the Texans winning. If I had to put a score on it, I'd probably say something like Texans 24, the Rams 14.
Oh, you giving them a two touch. I was gonna say
Yeah, I
24
don't
and
want
21.
to. I mean, I really strongly feel good about the Texans defense this year. I feel like they really don't have much of a weakness on that side of the ball. Interested to see if the offense can, bring that balance this year. But as far as the defense goes, I feel like they have a championship type defense. As long as they can stay healthy, they stay locked in. We don't have, boneheaded situations where people are getting suspended or whatever the case may be this year.
True.
I think they will finish the season off top 5, top 3, if not even the best. So, yes, do I think they can hold the Rams in their building to 14 points on the game one? Absolutely. Just because it's the beginning of the season, and a lot of offenses have yet to sink and gel yet because they haven't had that repetition. Starters and stuff don't play in preseason. So because of that, the Texans should show up. They should be aggressive. They should be assertive early. And 24-14, we should get a W.
Okay, well, see, I got us getting a W. I'm kind of seeing mine play out a little bit. So I got 24-21. And then how the game is going to go. I think Rams are going to come out and punch us early since they're going to be at home. They're going to be feeling themselves a little bit. I say they come out and punch us a little early, and then I say the defense buckle down, get us some stops, and I think CJ get to working and show you why he looked the way he looked his rookie season. And so I got the score being 24-21. That's the score I'm going to roll with, man. But guys, it has been a great first show, leading into the pregame show today for the Houston Texans, man. I am Corey Mixed It. That guy right there is T. Rasco, man. Texans Mixed It podcast. Going to probably try to come to you 2 times a week. This pregame show, of course. And then also be looking for us after the game. The reaction after the game. We're going to break all that down and see what happened when Texans get this W, okay? But until then, man, this is Texans Mixed It podcast. I am Corey Mixed It. That's T. Roscoe, man. Y'all be safe in these H-Town streets. Go Texans.